Recording. Okay, so hi, we're going to make chicken adobo, pork adobo, and eggplant and vegetable adobo today. And adobo, different cultures make adobo different ways. We're going to make this in the style of the Philippines, and probably in the Philippines they make it 100 different ways. So we're going to make it one way, and there's a million ways to make it. This is the cooking battery. We're going to start with vegetable adobo. Me and Mary Chu are going to make it. And so for the vegetable adobo, I'm going to, Mary Chu, don't leave me. I'm going to make the sauce separately for the vegetable adobo. So can you get the soy sauce and the vinegar and the garlic in here? So Mary Chu, this is hot.
Okay.
So for the vegetable adobo, we're going to cook all the vegetables separately over high heat and mix them in here, and then we're going to add the sauce at the end. For a meat adobo, normally we would cook the cider vinegar and the soy sauce and the garlic and the bay leaves and the peppercorns with the meat for an hour or two. That's what we're going to do for the meat ones. But the vegetables, we don't want them to be overcooked. So we're going to char the veggies, which you've seen us do before. And the ratio of vinegar to soy sauce from the part of the Philippines that you come from, what is the ratio? Is it 50-50? Is it
1
1
to 1?
to 1?
Oh no, one shoyu and half of the vinegar.
Good. So we're going to do 1 part shoyu, half part vinegar for all the adobos that we're making today. And now what I'm going to do is start. So I've cut up, I don't know if you can see this, but these are the vegetables for the vegetable adobo. I've got eggplant and yellow and green squash and red peppers. And what I've done is I've cut these all different sizes. The reason that I cut these different sizes, and let me show you what I mean. So there's a piece of yellow squash and there's a piece of yellow squash. In the fancy restaurants, and the way most cooks are trained, is we're supposed to cut the food the exact same size. And then it's all done at the exact same time. And that's how most people are trained to work in the kitchen. And I'm at a point in my life now where I disagree with that thinking. So I cut things different sizes. And so what's going to happen now is we have a large piece of squash, a medium piece, and a small piece. I'm going to cook these all for the same amount of time. So then this small piece is going to be well done, soft. This will be medium cooked, maybe vice versa. And the large one will be less cooked. So there will be different textures in your mouth. So here, let me show you another example with the red pepper. So here's a small piece of red pepper, here's a big piece. These are going to be cooked at different donenesses. Let me show you the eggplant. So here's a big piece of eggplant, here's a smaller piece of eggplant, not much smaller. And these are going to be done, there's a small one. So this will be well done, and this one will be cooked enough to eat, but not well done. So different textures in the mouth. Okay, I'm going to start cooking now over high heat. And I've got vegetable oil, I've got pans that are hot, right? I love cooking over hot pans. We've talked about it before. That one I forgot to turn on, which is fine. Mary Chu, can you hold this for me right here? Yeah, right here. Thanks. And just watch your face. You okay?
Yeah. It's too high.
Yeah. Yeah, all right, thanks.
And that's your spatula, chef.
Okay, I'm going to use this. Thank you. So now what we're doing, we're starting the vegetable adobo here. The vegetables we're going to char and then put into a big pot. Let's turn this on. And once it's hot, you can cook some more vegetables in there. So again, the idea with cooking over a flame is the fire is hot, it gets the pan hot. We put oil in the pan, it gets the oil hot, then the oil transfers the heat from the fire into the food. We don't want to over stir the food, we want to cook the food. So a lot of people stir the food too much. I've talked about this before, and there's no reason to over stir the food because we want it to cook. So what we have here is 2 parts soy sauce to 1 part cider vinegar, and then we're going to add a bunch of garlic into that for the vegetable adobo. This is cooked enough. Look at that. We're adding bay leaves and peppercorn to the adobo. Add more for me. Add more. So the Filipinos would add like 5 bay leaves. I'm going to put 15 in, and I'm not doing this to irritate anybody, but it does irritate people.
Okay.
And normally we would want to do peppercorns, but we're out of peppercorns, so we're just doing pepper, right? And then the garlic, right? There's the garlic. Chu, is that enough? 1 or 2?
Oh, that's good enough, chef.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
One more time. One more time.
Okay, the cord's back out. That's okay. So now we're going to do, oops, yeah. Here. Yeah, careful. Not all of it, not all of it. Sit over here. Nice. Thank you. So what we have here is the vegetable adobo, slow cooking. There's all the different vegetables, mostly eggplant, like half eggplant, half everything else. Then the soy sauce and the cider vinegar with the bay leaves, the garlic, and the pepper. I'm going to take the lid off and just let it kind of cook slowly. But it's almost done. Would you say this is almost done?
Yeah.
It's done. Oh yeah, it's done. So we have some white rice here. This is the classic rice in most of the Philippines that would be eaten with, vegetable adobo or any kind of adobo. Of course, you can use brown rice or any other kind of rice. And I put it in the middle of the plate. And then when you plate up food to make it look beautiful, because people eat with their eyes, the way the master Chinese chefs do it is they imagine air between the food. So as they're plating up the food, you have to be really gentle, right? Really gentle. And there is vegetable adobo. The reason that we're gentle is so the food doesn't get smashed down. What a lot of people do when they put food on a plate is they put it on the plate like I just did, then they do this. And look at the difference. That is unattractive. So we want to put food down gently. After all the work that went into the food, the farmers grew it, the shippers shipped it to us, we washed it, chopped it, and cooked it. After all that work, you might as well have the food look as beautiful as it can look, even in a busy cafeteria.
So we'll start with the pepper, black pepper, and the bay leaves. And at the same time, the shrimp. Yeah, she's gonna do the.
Oh, she's gonna take this. Oh, good. She'll start making all the changes.
We'll almost stir it right now. We'll boil it for a while. And we'll boil it, and then after that we'll put the vinegar. That's it. So we'll put the vinegar now. That's the last thing you're gonna put. Little by little.
Yeah, so what we're doing with this chicken adobo is we're making it juicy because in this neck of the woods, we're currently in Kona, at the Kona hospital. The staff here and the patients here like it juicy. So there's different places that like it different ways. Some like it dry, right? I like it dry myself, but we're cooking for a lot of people that like it juicy. They like to eat it with the rice. They like the rice to be all wet. So that's the chicken adobo. And how much more time do we have on this chicken adobo? It's done. So that's done chicken adobo. Not long. Good. So if we were making this for 2,000 people or 500 people, you would make this in a kettle. And you probably wouldn't have the time to brown anything. So it's all goes in the kettle at once, all the ingredients that's on the recipe in front of you, and then you boil it. So the kettles are great for this. You have to stir it constantly. The braziers are, if I was doing this for 500, I would do it in the brazier if I had a 40-gallon brazier. And if I was doing it for more than 500, I would do it in a kettle, a steam-jacketed kettle. And throw it, put it all in the kettle and forget about it. And stir it every 5 or 10 minutes. So that's chicken adobo. Well, Ben said this is right. We're going to make pork adobo now. We're going to use the brazier in this busy kitchen. And we've cubed the pork yesterday. And we're only going to make enough pork adobo for maybe 30 people. And then in the brazier here, you could probably make enough pork adobo in here for about 200 people. And then if you were making more than 200 portions of pork adobo, you would use probably a kettle. It's totally okay. Go ahead. So you would use a kettle, a steam-jacketed kettle. So how we're going to do this is we're going to brown the pork in here and let it cook for a while till it's tender. Then we're going to add the soy sauce, the garlic, the bay leaves, the peppercorns, and the cider vinegar. And let it cook another, half hour. So we'll now show you the process of making pork adobo.
Now the meat is soft, so it's time to put the soy sauce. Look at that. Shut up. Okay, I will cook it for a while and I will put the vinegar after. Putting the vinegar, this is the last one. Let it cook a little bit.